Shalom, 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 Israel. I want to start this by giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Chakodash, who this world so ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit in the ancient Paleo Hebrew tongue. I want to give double honors to the elder of the men of Israel camp, Elder Kazak, who teaches well, who rules well. I want to give double honors to the elders across the four corners of the globe, starting with GMS from Elder Tahar on down. I want to give salutations to the brothers that are of the hopeful elect. I want to give a shout out to the brothers that are unto the speckled bird, causing confusion among the heathen. To all y'all brothers, I'd like to say shalom. This video will be called "A Woman Shall Only Have One Man." And this video came about due to me. I'm a maintenance tech. I was talking to my old property manager, and her dude is going through something, and she had stopped me for something I used to work for her. Said, I'm moving away from here and all this and all that. I mean, I don't give a shit. It's got nothing to do with me, in all honesty. But the point is, she's in this man's house about to move and all that, and she's texting and talking to other men, bro. That's the ultimate disrespect. And I told her too. I said, man, you disrespectful as hell, bro. You still in this man's house talking about how you got men in these different areas in South Carolina and in Tennessee and in Florida, North Carolina and shit. Say, I got options. I'm moving here, here, and here, and I'm gonna do this, and this. And he's trying to keep tabs on me, and he's trying to, bro. And she probably lying, probably lying like a motherfucker, Ain't man. These women, what that scripture say? They will wipe their mouths and say that they have done nothing wrong, man. For real. And that is real, man. But she's giving that man the form of ultimate disrespect. You're not even out that man's house yet. You're not out of his house yet. And you're talking to other men, bro. And the only reason why men and women talk in this day and time, bro, is to smash, bro. Sexual desires, man. That's the only reason you don't get a broad number. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Ain't nobody trying to go into no damn relationship in this day and time, man. With you wicked ass women. No, we trying to do the thing and get on through. Now, you want to keep it's nice to keep the thing between the two parties, but I mean, it ain't never gonna go like that, man. It's almost never gonna go that way, man. Just due to the nature of this place, man. Due to the nature of this place. Alright, I'm gonna start I think I'm gonna start this in Leviticus. No. Leviticus 20. So now it's for a whole nother video. Alright, look. So this is the only law that's put up on a man in dealing with a woman. This is the law. This is what would make a man wicked if he goes and deals with another woman, right? And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death, right? So, if a man goes and deals with another man's wife, bro, that's wickedness, bro. You can't do that. That's adultery. You can't do that. That man is married unto that woman. You must leave her be. They are one, bro. Now, when a woman deals with another man and she has a man, she gotta be put to death, bro. She gotta be put to death, right? But a man can deal with multiple women. There is no law against that, and I'm gonna prove that. First I'm gonna prove a woman should only have one man, and then I'm gonna prove where men in the scriptures had many women, right? Right, so let me run that back to you. All right, so a man can have as many women as he wants. This is within the scriptures. A man can. A woman is bound to that one man, right? A woman is bound to that one man. That's it. Polygamy in the scriptures is real. And we're going to prove that. It's like it. You know? But, all right. It's just irritating to see, man. And these women are so fucking, excuse my language, man, so full of themselves, man. All right, here we go. Let the word of Hamashiach Yahushai dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching, admonishing one another in psalms and in hymns and in spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to Yahweh. And whatsoever ye do in word or in deed, do all in the name of Hamashiach Yahushai, giving thanks to Yahweh and the Father by him. Wives, submit yourself unto your own husbands, as it is fit in Yahweh. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. All right? So you're supposed to be submissive unto this man. You ain't supposed to be all, you know what I'm saying, riled up and, well, you did this, so I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. You know, no, bro. No, bro, it's not supposed to be that. It's not supposed to be that, bro. At all. You're supposed to be in subjection to this man, bro. I know it says it's plural here, right? But it's talking to the masses, okay? It's talking to many women and talking to many men, right? But it's supposed to, it's really wife or woman, submit yourself into your own husband. All right? That's gonna go over some heads. It's okay. Because it looks plural. I shouldn't even brought that out because it looks plural. So, you're not. For the sake of the church folk. All right. Okay. All right, and this is going to say about the same thing, you know. But we're going to read what it says in 23, right? All right. Ephesians 5:15. See that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding in what the will of Yahweh is. And be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. And when it says drunk with the wine, it's talking about the different philosophies of this world, okay? It's talking about the different philosophies, man. That's why it says all are drunk with the wine. It's talking about really Babylon the Great, which is America, and the philosophies that's in here, that's in this place, you know. But be filled with the Spirit. Be filled with the Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, right? Speaking to yourselves in psalms and in hymns and in spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to Yahweh, giving thanks always for the things unto Yahweh and the Father in the name of Hamashiach Yahushai, submitting yourselves one another in the fear of Yahweh. Wives, submit yourself unto your own husbands as unto the Lord, man. Now, that's some hellified subjection, man. That's some hellified submitting. And that's not what's going on. And once again, it's plural, but it's talking to the mass of women and to the mass of men. And we're going to see that in 23. All right. For the husband is the head of the wife. Right? There you go. The husband is the head of the wife. It don't say husbands. It don't say husbands. Right? It says, for the husband is the head of the wife. All right? Even as Yahushai is the head of the church and he is the savior of the body, right? But yeah, this is dealing with one man and one woman here. But it's not against the law for a man to have multiple women. It's against the law for a man to deal with another man's wife. It's against the law for a woman to deal with another man if she has a husband. But for a man to deal with different women, it is not against the law. It's not against the Lord. And if it was against the Lord, then we got to explain Solomon, and we got to explain Jake, and we got to explain Esau. We gonna go into it and break this thing down. All right, but back to this here, right? So it says, all right, verse 23: the husband is the head of the wife. Oh, sorry, 22. Wives, submit yourself unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, right? Now we're gonna go and read where Yahushua was dealing with the woman at the well. I believe the Samaritan woman. He said that thou has had 5 husbands, and the one that you are with now is not your husband. That means she done slept with 5 men, and the one that she was with, the one that she was dealing with, smashing on, having sexual relations with, is not her husband, because that's not the man that took her virginity. When you're with a man and he takes your virginity, he humbles you, that's the man that you're supposed to be with for the rest of your life, and you're supposed to deal with. He's supposed to take care of you for the rest of the days of your days. You know, that's how it goes. When you go into a woman and you humble her, you have to take her. Dang, what's the scripture? Salakim. Salakia. Now that's the scripture that was talking about taking a woman after war. I mean that's an example as well, though. You know. Well, yeah, we can go and read that. All right, we can go and read that real quick. Whoa. All right, so this right here is saying when okay, so there's a saying called the spoils of war, and women are included in that. So when a nation goes to war against a nation and they defeat them, and you go and take it over, you know, in the city, town, whatever, and you go and take over that region or whatever may have you, right, bro? You can take the woman. You take the woman and she shave her hair. She can mourn for her family. I believe we're gonna read it. Matter of fact, all right. Deuteronomy 21:10. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and Yahweh thy power hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou have taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. All right, so if you have a desire unto her and you want to bust her down, basically, right? Okay. All right. Verse 12. Then thou shalt bring her home into thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails. So she gonna shave her head, right, all the way, and pare her nails, man. And she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother for a full month, right? So after you take her, you know what I'm saying, she's going to shave her hair, cut her nails, right? And she's going to remain in the house and bewail her father and her mother a full month. So she's going to, what's the word? She's going to mourn, right? She's going to mourn for her father a full month. And after that, thou shalt go into her, right? What does that mean, to go into her, man? To take her virginity. I mean, that she might not necessarily be a virgin, right? She might not necessarily be a virgin, right? But it says, but after that, thou shalt go in unto her and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. That's sex, man, right? And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will. All right, so if you don't want her, you ain't got no delight in her, then let her go, man. Then thou shalt let her go whither she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. So don't sell her for money, right? Can't sell her for money, right? Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. If you sell her for money, that's kind of like prostitution, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Kind of making her into a whore or something like that. You know, and that's well, I know that's against the law for the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? You can't sell the woman for money. You know what I'm saying? You can't prostitute out a woman. You can't be a pimp. No shit like that, right? All right, but this is just an example. When you go into a woman, she becomes your wife, right? Well, it's another scripture. God, Genesis, 24 and all right. Let me see. Where do I want to start this? Well, I'll just get to the point. Really, this is dealing with Isaac and Rebekah when at the time of Isaac's mother's death, right? So Isaac went into Rebekah, right? And she became his wife. Basically, that's it. And he loved her. That's all. All right, but verse 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah. What does it mean? He took her. What does that mean? He took her. He went into her. He had sex with her, right? And she became his wife. And he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. Now, do you think that Rebekah went and dealt with other men? Fuck no. Hell no. Hell no. Because the women in that day, bro, they knew the standard. They knew the standard. Who was it? I think it was Rachel, I believe. When she had took the pictures from Laban, I believe it was. And she said, excuse me for interrupting, because I understand the standard of women is up on me. You know, we can go get that too. Let me see, the standard of women. Con, right. All right, here it is. All right, so Laban, he went after Jake because he had some pictures and all that missing when Jake had left off with his wives and the handmaids, right? So look, so the women in that day and time were in order, bro. They're not in order in today's time, right? And Laban went into Jacob's tent and into Leah's tent and the two maidservants' tent. And the two maidservants' tent, but he found them not. Then he went out of Leah's tent and entered into Rachel's tent. So look, right there, that's 4 women, bro. That's 4 women. And guess what? Jacob had children from these 4 women. He had offspring, he had seed by these 4 women. And those 12 children make up the 12 tribes of Israel, man. Okay? Those 12 children make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Understand that. We're going to get into that as well. Right? So that disproves that that women are supposed to go to another man right there. Because you know what? Jake worked 7 years for Laban, and he gave him Leah. And then he was supposed to give Rachel, and then he worked another 7 years to get Rachel. She was that cold. She had to be beautiful, man. You know? So he worked 14 years for these two women, and then those two women gave him the maid servants. So Jake had 4 women. He went into both of the maid servants and had children by them. All right? Okay? Verse 34. Now Rachel had taken the images and put them in the camel's furniture. So Rachel took these images and put them in the camel's satchel and all that. That's that they ride on the camel, right? And sat up on them. And Laban searched all the tent but found them not. Listen. And she said to her father, let it not displease my Lord that I cannot rise up before thee. For the custom of women is upon me, bro. So the women were in order in that day. The women were in order in that day, man. So this whole, yeah, I'm going to talk to this man and this man and this man, and you still in this man's house is diabolical, bro. I told her, man, you better be careful, boy. That nigga, you still in that man's house. That man might snap off or something and do you harm and do you hurt. You don't know how that man feeling doing this separation or this breakup, and you running around boasting and gloating, talking about I'm single, I can do this and I can do that. Man, that man liable to put down a demo on your ass, man. Might just fucking slap you up or something. You know, but the woman don't understand, bro. And she can't understand it. All right, look. Okay, well, yeah, I just said, and she said to her father, let it not displease my Lord. Then we just read in Ephesians 5:15, let it not displease my Lord that I cannot rise up before thee. So she called that man a Lord. Why? Because of what it say right here in Ephesians, man. We literally just read it. Look. Verse 22. Boom. Wives, submit yourself unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. So that woman was in order. She was in order, bro. She was clearly in order. That's evident. All right? All right, we're going to start this at 9 and go to, Put this in the yellow. All right. Now, this is the Samaritan woman, the woman of Samaria, when they were at the well, all right? When her and Yahushua were at the well, right? Now, he gonna get up on her, he gonna bust her ass, man, because she wrong. Right? She dead wrong. She done went out on that man and had other dealings, bro. And she not supposed to do that. Alright? This is John 4 and 9. Dang, actually. What is that? Is that Corinthians? I do want to go get that. Just showing how the women were in order. God. Yeah, let's go get that before we get into. And this it's actually another one in Timothy too. All right, look. But I would have you know that the head of every woman, Salakim, but I will have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach Yahushai. And the head of the woman is the man. And the head of a Mashiach Yahushai is Yahweh, man. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right. There was actually one more, but it's all right though. Let's go back to John. All right, here we go. Then said the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou, being a Jew, askest of me? Oh, let me start here. Salakim. Verse 7. There cometh the woman of Samaria to draw water, meaning she was going to go get water from the well. And Yahushua said unto her, give me to drink, for his disciples were gone unto the city to buy meat. So the disciples were gone. So he asked the woman, yo, let me have some drink, some water. All right. Then said the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou, being a Jew, askest of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. And Yahushua answered and said unto her, if thou knewest the gift of Yahweh, and who it is that said to thee, give me to drink, then thou would have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. So he would have gave her the true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? But this bitch, she don't know who the fuck, she don't know who she talking to. She don't know who she dealing with. That's why he said, if thou knewest the gift of Yahweh and who it is that said to thee, give me to drink. So if you would have known who was talking to you and what was, you know what I'm saying, and who I am, then you would have asked me for the living waters. All right? Which is truth, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Right? The woman said unto him, sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well to drink thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle? And Yahushua answered unto her, and Yahushua answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. Meaning, who drinks of physical water, you will thirst again. Because, you know, you're in the vessel. Your body, it needs water, okay? It needs H2O to survive, right? Verse 14, but whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst, but in the water shall I give him, shall be put in the well of water springing up in the everlasting life, okay? Because through the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, we will have everlasting life, right? The woman said unto him, sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. And Yahushua said unto her, go call thy husband and come hither. So she said, go get your husband and come back, right? The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yahushua said unto her, now peep this out now. Yahushua said unto her, thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had 5 husbands. That means she done slept with 5 men, bro. She's wrong. All right, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband, and that says thou truly, right? For thou hast had, verse 18, for thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou hast is not thy husband. So you done had 5 husbands, and the one that you with now is not your husband, right? So that means a man went into her as a virgin, and she done slept off with 4 other men, right? And the man that she's dealing with at that time and at that moment, you know, that's not her husband, because that's not the man that took her virginity, bro. Facts. A woman is supposed to be with one man. If it's not that way, then why would Yahushua say this? For thou hast had 5 Let's go get this in the NLT. Let's see what the NLT say. Let's see. Yeah, I definitely want to see what the NLT say. Let me see. All right. Verse 16, right? Go and get your husband. Yahushua told her, I don't have a husband. The woman replied, Yahushua said, you're right. You don't have a husband, for you have had 5 husbands, and you aren't even married to the man you're living with now. You certainly spoke truth. Nah, I don't dig it. I wonder what the ESV say. Con. Now, this is a little better right here. Con. Yahushua said unto her, go and call your husband and come here. The woman answered him and said, I have no husband. Yahushua said unto her, you are right in saying, I have no husband, for ye have had 5 husbands, and the one you now have is not your husband. God, why is that the case? Well, simply because that's not the man that took her virginity, bro. That woman committed adultery, bro. Right? What you have said is true. God. God. All right. Onto the NLT Slakia. God. The woman said unto, verse 19, the woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Man, come on, he's the ultimate prophet, man. Man, he's the ultimate. But that's really the point. That's what I wanted to get at 17 and 18, you know, just proving that, you know, Yahushua was saying to the woman, yo, you've had 5 husbands. The one that you with now is not your husband. So that's showing that when you go in a woman as a virgin and you lie with her, go into her, you know, she becomes your wife. Right? She's going into. Right? Right? So she done been with 5 different men, and that 5th man ain't her husband. He didn't take her virginity. Point blank, period. Alright? Now, alright, now let's go and show where men have had many wives. All right. Here we go. This is 1 Kings 11:1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites of the nations concerning which Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall I come in unto you, for surely they will turn your heart away after their gods. Solomon clave unto these women in love. So a man can love many different women, bro. a man is capable of that. A woman is not. A woman, y'all are unstable, is what y'all are. All right? All right? And look, verse 3. And he had 700 wives, princesses. All right? He had 700 wives. Why? This man bust down 700 virgins, man. He bust down 700 virgins. They were wives, princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wives turned away his heart. So he had 300 concubines. Those women had already been gone into, I'm quite sure. Because it would say wives. It would basically say he had 1,000 wives then. But it told the difference of the wives to the concubines. So like him. Alright. So that shows right there. Alright. Let's go to Genesis 29. Actually, well, yeah. Well, no. We're going to go to 36 first. We'll go to Esau first. Alright. Alright, so look. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. And he took his wives of the daughter of his wives, multiple women, of the daughters of Canaan, Ada, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, Aholibama, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zebulun, the Hivite, and Bashemath, Ishmael's daughter, the daughter of Nebuchadnezzar, and Ada bare Esau Eliphaz, and Bashemath bare Ruel. See, that's shit. That's 4 women right there, right? There you go. Hold on, Slovakian. My daughter's crying, man. Damn. Man, Slovakian. All right. So this is showing the wives of Esau basically. It's more than one woman, right? Right. There's no getting away from it, man. You women can say all that you want. There's no getting away from this. All right. All right. Look. So I'm gonna break this down for you. All right, and then we're gonna read it. So Leah, right? That's who he worked the first 7 years for, even though Laban was supposed to give him Rachel, right? So he worked 7 years for Leah, and then he worked another 7 years for Rachel. Leah had a maid servant. Her name was Zilpah, okay? Rachel had a maid servant. Her name was Bilhah, okay? Now from Leah, he had 6 sons, right? From Leah, he had Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. From Zilpah, he had Gad and Asher. From Rachel, he had Joseph and Benjamin. And Bilhah, from Bilhah, he had Dan and Naphtali, okay? So that's 12 sons from 4 different women. All right? And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve these 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than I give her to another. Slakin. Man, abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him a few days for the love he had unto her. And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I might go unto her again. And Laban gathered all the men of the palace and made a feast, and it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah, his daughter, and brought her unto him, and he went into her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah, his handmaid, for a handmaid. Jake went into both of these women and had children, okay? So he had Leah and Zilpah, right? Like I just said. Okay? And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah, and he said to Laban, what is this thou hast done unto me? Did I not serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give this also for the service which thou shalt serve me yet another 7 years. So he's saying you got to serve me another 7 years in order to get Rachel, right? All right. And Jacob did so and did fulfill her week. And he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also. So this man worked 14 years for Rachel, right? Because he was supposed to get Rachel at first, and then Laban told him, no, you got to take the firstborn first. You can't have the younger daughter, right? You want the younger daughter, you work another 7 years, right? All right. And Laban gave to Rachel, his daughter, Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. And when the Lord saw, and when Yahweh saw that Leah was hated, he opened up her womb, but Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived and bare a son. She called his name Reuben, right? For she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now, therefore, my husband will love me. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because the Lord hath heard I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon, right? And she conceived again and bare a son. And now this time, will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore his name was called Levi. Right? And she conceived again and bare a son, and she said, now I will praise Yahweh. Therefore she called his name Judah, and left bearing. And when Rachel saw that she bare no children, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, I am in God's stead, who had withheld thee from the fruit of the womb. He said, so, yo, this is the Lord. What am I to do? Shit, that's why he mad at her. Shit, the Lord is doing this. I can't help this. Yeah, who hath withheld thee from the fruit of the womb? Shit, the Lord did it. That's why he pissed at the woman. The hell, how you gonna be mad at me? Hey, I'm giving you my seed. If you don't conceive, then that's not that. The Lord must do this. Okay. And she said, behold, my maid Bilhah, go into her. So she gave Jake her handmaid Bilhah. And Bilhah had Dan and Naphtali. Okay. And she said, behold, my handmaid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she may bear upon my knees, that I might also have children by her. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife. So he went into her, man. Did they go off and deal with other men? Man, shit, no. Hell no. Alright? All of those women were with Jake until the death. Okay? And Jacob went in unto her, and Bilhah conceived, and bare Jacob a son. And Rachel said, Yahweh had judged me, and had also heard my voice, and had given me a son. Therefore she called his name Dan. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bare Jacob a second son. And Rachel said, with great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali. Right? So Bilhah, Rachel's handmaid, had what? Dan and Naphtali. All right. And when Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her handmaid, and gave her Jacob to wife. So Leah took her handmaid after seeing Rachel give Zilpah to Jake. Right? Leah gave her the handmaid. So when Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her to Jacob to wife. Right? So he's having sex and children with these 4 women. Where we come from was made from 4 women, man. All right? It's for the woman to be with one man. The man can do what he wants. As long as you have the means to take care of that woman for the rest of her days. But it's not expedient to try and be in no polygamous relationship in this day and time. You got to let that shit go, man. Just get your rocks off and get on through or something, man. This ain't even the place for no relationship, as retarded as these bitches are, man. And excuse my language, man, but that's what it is. It's just what it is. Y'all can take it or leave it. I don't give a damn. At the end of the day. Said, ain't nobody coming with no pastor with all them smooth words and shit. The pastor busting down the deacon's wife, man. Shit, you gonna listen to that nigga. Man, get on through. Shit. Alright? And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son, and Leah said, a troop cometh, and she called his name Gad. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son. Alright? And Leah said, happy I am, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher. Alright? There you go. There you go, man. Okay. Well, I mean, I could keep reading, but I really got to the point. Jake had 4 women and had sons by all 4 of these women. Leah had a handmaid named Zilpah. Rachel had a handmaid named Bilhah. Rachel was feeling some kind of way because she couldn't conceive due to the Lord. The Lord made that happen. So he gave her so Rachel gave Bilhah to Jake to conceive, right? Now, Leah gave Jake Zilpah. It's right here. Right here, man. Look. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah her handmaid and gave her Jacob to wife. There you go. Said go into her. So guess what? All four of these women were virgins, bro. All four of them were virgins, man. And Jake had them for the rest of the days. All right, that's Shalom. With that, I'm going to end it.